audio-wise, and I'm going to introduce a gentleman and let him talk because I'm at the microphone, and you'll be able to hear him. When I do an interview, I ask three questions. Number one, who are you? That means name, location, name, rank, and serial number. And number two, I ask you, where are you from? And number three, I ask you to share whatever the Lord's doing in your life right now. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Number one, who are you?
Okay, Wiley, I'm Free Lazor, a.k.a. P.F. Lazor, but I like going by Free Lazor, L-A-Z-O-R. I'm at Salinas Valley State Prison right now in California. I have been in the California prison system for 37 years, and I'm kept here not because I'm guilty of anything, but because I'm not guilty of anything. They well know that. They've kept me here for this long period of time. My sentence was fully served in May 1, 1992. I've been kept 27 years after my sentence was fully served, even if I had been guilty of the second-degree murder that I was framed for. I did shoot a man, broke into my house. I shot him in self-defense, called the police and ambulance to save him. He was still alive when they got there. They made sure he died after they took me away, and I've been in prison since 1983. So that's a little bit about me. I'll let you move on to the next one.
All right. The next question, of course, is where are you from originally, state-wise, otherwise, anything you'd like to share, family name or whatever?
Sure. I come out of metropolitan Detroit area. I grew up there. My father built the house that I was raised in. I grew up there in the country, actually country boy, but about 20 miles west of Detroit, 17 miles from the college town, University of Michigan town of Ann Arbor, a well-known town. And I grew up in the countryside, had like 4 miles of playground in those days as my playground as a child. Love the country, miss it, don't miss the cold, but miss the snow. And moved out to California in the 1970s, looking for career advancement in the film field, in the acting field, and in the music field, which I did advance considerably in, starting right after I got out here. Also got my pilot's license and certificate, and those sort of things, which is one of the big things I want.
Okay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Wiley.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have called back so soon because I just talked to Rudy. I'm not going to call him very often anymore for reasons I explained yesterday, but I did have to call him about 2 really important issues that came up. And so we talked for a moment, and he mentioned that your broadcast or connection with me was cut off yesterday.
Yeah,
we got in our conversation.
We obviously got hacked, and they stopped it, so we only got part of it, but we're live on the air again. We'll try it again. We're live on the air right now, ladies and gentlemen, with my dear friend, Free Lazor, and God bless you, brother. Share with us what's going on. How can we pray for you, and how can we seek the Lord for you?
Okay, thanks, Wiley. Is that where we left off yesterday when it got cut off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, as far as my own situation, I mean, I definitely want prayers for other people too, but I'll focus on my own situation for right now.
Sure.
Been in prison 37 years for a crime they know I did not commit. I mean, I shot a man in self-defense and broke into my house. I did that. It's not a crime. It saved my life. I would have been dead that day had it not been for that. There's no question about that. And I called the police and the ambulance to try to save the guy, and they made sure he died within the next 4 hours. Conflicting with police reports as to if he died 3 hours later, 4 hours later, or somewhere around that hour-long period. Anyway, I've been in prison all these years. Anybody else with any even remotely similar circumstances has gone home many years before me. My sentence, had I been guilty of the second-degree murder I was convicted of, was fully served on May 1, 1992, and I've been held illegally ever since then.
How many years have you been in jail?
I've been in prison 37 years.
37.
My whole life.
My goodness, my goodness.
That's like a Manson situation. Like, you know, that a comparative advancement type of thing as far as the amount of time I've done. And so it's been very difficult prison time, too, because everything's been going fairly smooth the last couple of years. We have a very good board here and some pretty good staff members, some very good staff members, in fact. I don't ever say that all of them are bad, but for many, many years, for more than 3 of those decades straight, was a lot of just everything from brutality to just terrorism by really bad. And like I say, now it's been cleaned up a lot, so I'm not making any complaint about that, the way things are going right now, but that was the case for many years. So it was a very difficult imprisonment for me. It's been, I've had 51 transfers across the state from one prison to another to continually disrupt my legal cases against the system and my efforts to get my conviction overturned. Always being procedurally barred, having not had my issues heard. I want to mention I have a couple of websites. You can go to the website, free-lazor.org. If you go there, go to the 3552 section. It's called 3552 document, and you'll see I absolutely proved with legal documents that they falsified every single piece of evidence against me, 20-some pieces of evidence, and then they made sure that in secret proceedings behind my back I didn't even know about until after I was in prison for some months or years. So when I got the transcript, I didn't even know that they withdrew the manslaughter instructions and the basic self-defense instruction from jury, so that they really weren't given an opportunity to convict me of anything less than first or second degree murder under the circumstances of the case, and they acquitted me of murder, which is the worst, and second degree murder, which carries, as I say, it's called a 17 years to life sentence. The to life aspect of it does not even come into play unless you have special circumstances found by a jury. They've been ignoring that for all these years, and they pretend that it means it's a potential life sentence depending on your circumstances of your case, your history, your imprisonment, and so forth, even though that's not what the statute says at all. They just made that up. And that's been the so-called law that all the judges have been going by, because that's what the parole board and CDC has wanted to go by all these years. And so my sentence, I fully served May 1, 1992. I was supposed to go home that day and would have been home and a productive citizen and been exonerated easily had I gotten out of prison, where I could have been free to, do the investigation on the case and expose all of what they did. So instead, I've done 27 years of imprisonment that has nothing to do with any conviction or crime, or even one that supposedly I did, that has nothing to do with anything except they decided they wanted to keep me in prison these extra years for basically false reports, false petty reports that guards have written over the years called rule violation reports. They're just petty infractions of rules in CDC. So for that, I've done 27 years after serving 8.5 years for a murder conviction.
Well, Free Lazor, let me do this. I've got your full mailing address. We gave it out yesterday. I'll give it out again. But before we go too much further, give us that other email information or the web information that you gave a minute ago. Give us that, would you?
Okay. Website is www.free-lazor.org. My last name is Lazor. My first name is Free, so that's my name. And as far as
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
There's also a referral there that'll link people to Facebook so they can see a lot more about my history as a musician and other things, high achievements that I did. I was a very high achiever on the street. I was highly recognized as a cream of the crop member of society, very productive citizen. Never even got a jaywalking ticket in my life, and was very anti-crime, in fact, and upstanding citizen all my life.
Amen. Now, that's Free, F-R-E-E. Now, is that slash or forward slash or dash?
Dash.
Dash.
Like a hyphen.
Yeah,
like
okay,
a
so
hyphen or dash.
Free-Lazor, Lazor.org, right?
Yeah, Lazor, yeah.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, after we get through here, they'll cut us off here in a minute. When they do, I'll give you
Okay.
the mailing address, so we want you to mail Free Lazor a letter or card or something. So we'll give that out later.
Yeah.
But let's don't take.
And we want to let anybody listening know. Excuse me for interrupting. We want to let anybody listening to know that we do not have access in any form to the internet. We in fact don't have access even to putting out email. So if somebody insists on doing email, they have to send it to the email address, which they'll find on my website. And my person who runs my website, just a friend of mine, will send it in to me. So it's got to be a two-step lengthy process. So it's best to mail to me direct at the snail mail address here at the prison, which you give them.
And we'll give that before we go off after we finish with you. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to pray for Free Lazor. We'll give you the address later. Pray with him and pray for him. Write him a letter. Send him a card. Whatever you'd like to do, but please do it. And what else now can we pray for you about?
Let me mention this other thing in light of what you just mentioned too. I always want to say this and often forget. If there are any good-hearted souls out there who were going to take it upon themselves,
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
are you still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, if there's any good-hearted souls who would have taken it upon themselves to send me some money thinking they were doing me a favor, I want to say do not ever send money to the prison on my behalf, because it's all taken, 100% is taken by CDC, and it's just the same as flushing it down the toilet. So if anybody did want to, I don't ask unless somebody invites, but if somebody was inclined that way, they could send it to another party. I'll give that information to you later on. Another party out there who facilitates packages and that sort of thing to me. We can get packages 4 times a year. So anyway, just that's the other thing. As far as prayer, just pray specifically that I have something that has recently been sent to the parole board asking them to put my next parole hearing sooner than where it sits right now, which is years away. And they can do that, and they've been doing it with almost every prisoner I've ever heard of that's requested it, and even many prisoners that haven't requested it, because CDC has this new mentality about rehabilitation and trying to get people out the door back into society who are parole worthy. And I can't think of anybody I've ever heard of who's more parole worthy than I am and have been for all these years that I've been in prison.
Amen. Amen.
Also on the website, people will find a section on letters that people wrote to the courts and the parole board over the years, over 400 of them. And there's probably another 200 that have never been posted that talk about my background, my character, so people can verify from that many sources, people that knew me and have come to know me over the years, but mostly people that knew me before I came to prison and still know me today, if they're still alive, talking about what, my background, my character, my credibility, and so forth.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as all of you know, my background is I was a private investigator, and I'm still a pretty good investigator. And so we thank the Lord for the opportunity to minister to this fella. And we're checking him out, and we want you to know everything that he says is absolutely true, and we thank the Lord for it.
Thank you so much, Wiley. That reminded me, I don't know if some of your listeners might know who Jack McLam was. He's deceased now for some years, but he was the most highly decorated police officer in Arizona history, from Phoenix, Arizona, and he investigated my case thoroughly in about 1984 to 86 or 7 or so, somewhere around that period, and came back saying everything that I had claimed he found to be true, and that I was framed and set up really bad by officials for a false conviction and for a long-term imprisonment.
What's his name again?
His name is Jack McLam, M-C capital L-A-M-B. As I said, he passed away some years ago, probably 10, 12, 15 years ago now. And just is a great man. Did so much for society, for the military, for police officers, to teach them constitutional laws and how to act as police officers rather than as police state officers.
Yes.
Great man. So I appreciate this so much, Wiley. Blessings to all your listeners who are right-hearted people and Christians that want to do the right thing. I appreciate any prayers, and any other goodwill anybody has for this situation. I can always use time. I'm one of those prisoners, like one in a million, that doesn't have extra time. That I wish I had 10,000-hour-long days or longer than that. I can definitely use every moment of it. But anybody who has spare time, maybe any retired people looking for something to keep them busy and help them, help their longevity by keeping busy, that I could use help in internet searches for information, copies of certain things, and just all kind of different things I could use help with. My list is probably 300 or 400 items long of things I could use help with that I could do if I were.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I could do if I were out there, but I cannot do from in here.
Okay, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, hang on. He's going to go off, but we'll be here, and we'll give you his mailing address, and you can send him a letter, a card, or whatever you'd like to send. But remember his instructions.
Okay. If it got cut off yesterday, I'm looking for prayers also for my dear friend Gail, who needs it, and who is worthy of it, and for our good friend Ken Massat, who is going through some difficulties. He's a minister that's helped me a great deal. So pray for them, please.
We certainly will put them on the prayer list, and we'll pray for them. And we thank you so much for sharing with us, and we appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure and get a letter, a card, something off to him, and let him know you're praying with him and praying for him. And the web thing is free-lazor.org. All right, check that out. All right, I believe we've been cut off now. Our time ran out, and let me give you the mailing address for him. It's Free Lazor, Freelazor, and after his name is a number, C as in Charlie, 73842, and it's at P.O. Box 1050 with the numbers behind that, A1112, Soledad, Soledad, California, 93960-1050. I'm going to repeat that so you'll be sure and get it. Free Lazor, Freelazor, C as in Charlie, 73842, P.O. Box 1050, and A1112, Soledad, Soledad, California, 93960-1050, and go to the web, free-lazor.org, and check him out and communicate with him by snail mail, please. May God bless you, and as they say in Hollywood when they finish the show, that's a wrap.